So, it's been a while since I've made a video, and I know what you're thinking.
Have you ever had a dream that
A lot's been going on. You know, I've had my summer. I took classes over the summer. If you don't know, I'm a college student, finishing up my last year. For the longest, I've been thinking to myself, when am I going to make another YouTube video, right? If you don't know, follow me on Instagram at mdscott_. I'll probably put it in the description anyway. But just to wrap things up, so lean in a little bit. I've been on this journey, right? And I've been trying to build discipline in different ways. So I had to bring back some things that I've done in the past. And one of those things is taking 30 days away from social media.
what?
Now, this can be applied in a variety of ways. Like, it doesn't just have to be social media, but I chose social media, particularly Instagram. Reason being, that's the app that I really enjoy the most. So I took 30 days, and throughout those 30 days, it was a little bit tough, but it eventually got easier. And I felt like getting back on today was kind of like a smooth transition back into things. You know, I always enjoy creating content. I enjoy putting things together and just seeing the final product and being able to just show you guys what I do. It's a cool feeling. I don't want to think of this time away from Instagram as a disconnect. So what I like to do is delete the app completely off my phone. Nowhere to be found, right? So from day 1 to day 30 or 31, it depends on how I'm feeling. This time I did exactly 30 days. And the disconnect is meant to kind of desensitize yourself to that constant influx of information. Because it can be kind of too much sometimes, you know, especially when you're trying to like do other things in life. It can be a distraction. And I know for me, I can oftentimes end up spending uncopious amounts of time on there that I would, you know, regret later down the line, or even just the next day, or at the end of the day. You know, I don't know if you ever know, but like if you ever look at your screen time, right? Take a minute at it. You know, if you have an iPhone, you know, you go to your settings, you go to screen time, and you can actually look and see exactly how much time you spend on each app. Best believe you might be surprised. You might be surprised just how much time you actually spend on these apps. And some people might be like, well, you know, you look at it, today was one of those days you didn't spend a lot of time on it, but you can look at a weekly viewpoint and, you know, you see, you know, 4 or 5 hours of the week were spent strictly looking at social media or the news app or anything else that might not have been that productive. For me, I like to take it and allow it to kind of strengthen my discipline muscle, I like to call it, because I feel like if you don't actually work to better yourself in different ways and self-improve, especially with your discipline, your ability to focus, your ability to concentrate really diminishes over time, and it becomes more difficult. A lot of things that I've looked into in terms of studies show that multitasking isn't really a thing. If you think about it, most times when you focus on, let's say for a good example, 2 things, you focus on 2 things, right? One of them has your attention more than the other. There's no way to put 100% of your attention into both things at the same time. And what ends up happening is, as you focus on one and try to manage the other, one of them isn't getting as much attention or as much effort into it, which means the progress or the work towards it is diminished. So you're not really getting that 100% output in both directions. And the more you split your attention onto multiple different things, it really weakens your ability to focus. And that's why it becomes difficult when you try to sit down and focus on a movie, or you try to focus on doing something that requires a lot of attention. Let's say you're cooking, I don't know, whatever it is, and every single time you get a break when you're cooking, you pick your phone up and check for whatever your favorite app is. That is your ability to focus being diminished, and it's a clear example right there that shows, hey, I can't focus on one thing at a time. So what we have to do is think of it like this. What is something in your life that you feel like you could definitely use a break from? Because everybody has something that is taking up a lot of their time and might be enjoyable, But it might be time to put it on the back burner for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like way back there. And just understand how you might feel during that time while you have it on the back burner. Really be in tune with yourself. Like you could possibly journal, anything like that that can really help you to kind of document how you're feeling. Because what you'll notice is, especially for something that you really have a habit of doing a lot, when you take that time away from it, you start to kind of bring to the surface the reasons why you actually use it. And I know for me, during that time was able to figure out how to refine how I use these apps. And are they using me or am I using it? Because I've heard before, a good way to think of it is it's a tool. I don't want to allow the tool to make use of me. I'm not the tool. I want to make use of the device. So if the device is taking away from my time to do other things, it's not really being used as a tool. It's just sucking away my energy, time, and attention. And those are things that you can't really just replenish that easily or get back. At the end of this, I just want to say, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. You know, whatever that thing is that you want to be consistent with, really think about making that goal really small first. Something that is very easy to repeat over and over again, to the point where you might be thinking to yourself, I could definitely do more than this. But just wait. Establish that goal. Make it very easy and doable. And once you've built that up over a certain amount of time, let's say 2 or 3 weeks or even a month, you could really start to see that it becomes second nature to do it. Once it becomes second nature, then you can start to add on a little bit at a time. It's the same way when I think about my clients that I work with fitness coaching. When I'm helping them to understand how to eat, you know, we're thinking about macronutrients. So like, I wouldn't tell them, hey, let's go from 2,000 calories up to 3,000 calories if they're trying to bulk up and put on mass. I'm gonna tell them, hey, let's add, 200 to 300 calories, and let's add that in and get our bodies to adapt to that first for a few weeks before we just jump from one thing to the next. Such harsh jumps in terms of trying to create habits oftentimes lead to a very quick fall. Consistency is key to a lot of things. So at the end of the day, I want to do, more videos along this line. I didn't want this one to be too long, but if you gain anything from it, like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to see more. Share it to a friend that you feel like could benefit from this, because I feel like topics like this are not often talked about. It doesn't have to be super difficult, but oftentimes we don't take the time to even do the smallest bit of work to try to build up and self-improve, day to day, week to week. I always think about it 1% better each day in whatever you do. And I'll see you in the next one.